Austin was serving life in prison for serial rape, sodomy, and sexual abuse of underage children when his life was cut short by another man in his cell on the 14th of October 2020. He had lived with his nieces in Richmond for about 4 years when it was discovered that he had repeatedly assaulted the 3 young girls. Officials at the prison moved quickly to respond to a man-down alarm that was raised at the prison on a fateful evening. They discovered Austin in his cell, unresponsive. Medics swung into action, trying to revive him, but it was too late. He was confirmed dead barely an hour later. His cellmate, Rodney Jordan, was suspected of having attacked and killed him. Austin had been in the Mule Creek State Prison since the 2nd of October 2008, after being transferred from Contra Costa County. Jordan, on the other hand, was serving a 5-year sentence for second-degree robbery. This was not his first time in prison. He had been remanded in custody on August 14, 2017, to serve a 2-year sentence for first-degree burglary. Still, he was paroled barely a year after, on the 31st of July 2018, before he was returned for another conviction some weeks after. It is still unclear what Rodney's motive for the murder was, but reports indicate that it was most likely due to Austin's record as a child molester. Rodney was immediately placed in segregated housing and refused contact with other inmates or visitors until the conclusion of the investigation. Roy Whiting. He abducted, sexually assaulted, and murdered 8-year-old Sarah Payne in 1995. Sarah was playing hide-and-seek in a cornfield close to her grandparents' home with her sister and 2 brothers, when Whiting picked her up and sped away in his van. Her body was found 17 days later in a field. In the year 2000, he was sentenced to 40 years in prison for the killing and was held at Wakefield Prison, where officials kept him in a cell in an attempt to protect him from being harmed by other inmates. But it turned out that their efforts were not enough. The former mechanic turned child molester and murderer had been faced with a barrage of assaults behind bars, and later with a blade again. But it was in November 2018 that Richard Prendergast and Kevin Hayden attempted to end his life. They both attacked him viciously, as some other inmates cheered them on, with one reportedly calling out for them to stab him in the neck. One of the attackers, Hayden, claimed that they had done what everyone else in prison wanted.